Yeah, that we will be doing. We talked about that, maybe using one from Ethiopia, but we may maybe do two even, one from the data from DRC or something. Maybe we'll do more than one, but we'll definitely have a, but before we got too far down the path, we wanted to get your input on the form.
And I think as we start filling them in, then changes to the form might present themselves and we just change the form. It's, you know.
Yeah. Okay, Sophia, were you going to say something else?
That was it. That was what I was going to say.
All right, so does that make sense?
Dr. Lynn has a question.
Okay, Dr. Lynn.
On something else, maybe on the presentation.
Oh, on Peter's presentation? Okay.
Yeah, I don't know. Should I go that direction?
That's fine.
Somalia has been known to have very gender, you know, the community is very touchy with gender issues. I wonder whether some gender aspects are emerging through the data that you collected, and also how they were able to deal with the gender issues in the Somalia community.
It's a super good question. I don't know if we weren't there. We're just transmitting. We got our summary like you gave us, and we just summarized those summaries to give today. I'm trying to remember now.
Yeah,
we looked at it a little bit.
Well, they disaggregated their groups by gender, so they separated men and women. And yes, there were some sensitive to discuss that actually emerged in the conversations, and he said that he was surprised by that. So it talks about also gender-based violence issues that emerged, and that he was surprised by that.
Oh, yeah,
the only
rape came up
and things like that. The only problem is that he was, at this point in time when we spoke with him, had not quantified the qualitative data. And so he wanted to then go back using the software or Excel, however, and really see how many times it came up in conversations.
Because we said, yeah, this was an interesting example of why we needed to quantify. His focus was not on sexual-based violence or anything, it was more on effects of drugs and displacement.
Yeah.
But on some of his questions, he had the rape come up. And I said, well, did every focus group mention that, or just one or two? And he said, I'm not sure. And I said, we have to know, because if we say rape is an aspect of this displacement or whatever, resilience, etc., to something that happens, we have to be able to say, that was mentioned in almost all the focus groups. It really came out as an important issue or problem. Or if it only came out in one focus group mentioned by one person in one little sentence, then we have to question, okay, is this actually something that's an overall theme, or this was just mentioned by one person in one sentence, and it might not be a general theme. Because particularly with something like rape, we don't want to come out and say, this is one of the key problems, unless we've actually know that it was mentioned by all the focus groups, and we can say, it's a key problem, everyone mentioned it. So, but he's now in the process of putting all of his codes and data into the Atlas software, so he can actually come up and say it was mentioned 2 times, or it was mentioned in 3 of the 6 focus groups, etc.
And then for the translations in Ethiopia, some studies have found it quite useful for them to directly translate from Amharic, transcribe from Amharic directly into English. They have found it better than transcribing into the Amharic, then translate. So
I think that the group that was doing the data collection and transcription, their English levels were such that it was better to do it in Amharic directly, and then have an outside